Hi, babies. How are you doing? I'm on the screen record. I didn't go get an app yet. Every time I get an app or something, like I got a video player or whatever, it won't let me do the things I need to do without like trying to get me to pay for something. So I'm just using the ones that come with the phone. Anyway, oh my god. So yeah, I got that out. That was pretty cool. If you feel it's a little harsh or unfair, I felt like I held back a lot. Like I was really, really nice. I know I said fuck a lot, but I mean, I was so tired by the time I got like enough energy to break away from the bullshit of the world so that I could like think about this stuff. And I was gonna try to make like a place on the multiverse, right? So I was gonna like, that means I got a name in it. I already got all these names. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, I mean, I can do it. I know I can. And then I'm like, I already did it. Like, that's exactly where we are right now, as you listen to me. That's exactly where we are. You call it the metaverse, but really, we're in the real multiverse. Like, this place is limitless. I mean, think about it. Somewhere in your mind is my voice if you're listening to me. And you came here of your own free will to hear it. So, that's something. You did travel to get here. Just think about that. Anyway, they say the internet is like these cables in the ground. But the good news is energy travels through the atmosphere, so it doesn't matter where it's based. The energy that is contained within it obviously has its own aura. So you don't need to know where it is to affect it. You just need to know that it affects everything else. Because of like all the, I don't, just like the web use or whatever, the web covers the entire planet. It's almost suffocating her, if that was a thing. I mean, you see the animals are suffering from like the radiation. And then they're about to bump you up to 5G, and I can't say nothing bad about it because then they'll ban this. So, damn, that was only 2 minutes? What the hell? What am I going to say today? Oh no. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so, I'm just joking. Like, I don't want this to be like super serious. What I'm trying to say is, I did some things to help you out. For one, I couldn't resist the urge to need to destroy you every time, like, you guys hurt me because I was carrying you around and I could feel how you felt about me. And I was just like, okay, all right, then I want to pull some tool crap on you. Apparently, we promised we couldn't flood things. I don't know. I'm just like, whatever, that's the thing, fine. Because at the time, I was just going through and like making sure I got all the prophecies. I got some Indian prophecy that I didn't even like, the Hopi prophecy or something like that. Like I looked, they were talking about it. And I was like, "What? What's this?" I go there and I'm like, "Oh, dude, we're doing that." And so we just went back. We didn't really get the details, but basically, when we were like, once we were like, okay, when we first became true love, the first thing we did was we went after all the lost souls. So that's like the ghosts and entities and stuff. Like somehow got disconnected or trapped here, whatever, and told them to come home wherever we were. Because I didn't know I could broadcast like everywhere if I could just know I could broadcast everywhere. So it's like, damn. So you had to do things like as best you could imagine them. So if your job was to reach, the souls of things like at a distance, how many miles am I supposed to guess? Like if you're guessing miles, you're already doing it wrong. So, it's just, it was a learning process. Plus, I didn't believe what God was telling me. Like, God's like, you're my soulmate. I'm like, what? That's impossible. Like, not me, dude. Like, who do you want me to give this to? For one, there was nothing to give at first. It was just like this feeling like, okay, look, you know how it says you're going to know what to say when you get there? Yeah, you need to go there. I'm like, what? Yeah. And I don't even know what I have to say because it's just like this stuff I really don't understand. I'm like writing it down. And I'm like, I'm supposed to do all this? Like me? Like, I mean, I know they say that God likes to use nobodies, but come on. And then God tells me it was always you. And that just like blew my mind. Like, oh shit. So it always had to be me. That's what she was saying. And I was like, what the fuck? And the reason is, if you ever read The Sword of Truth, um, there's a spell that gets cast on the woman, and it's called a chain fire spell. And what it is that anybody who's ever met her or had anything to do with her, they forget her. And the only person in the book that knows who she is Richard, because he's the truth. He's the seeker of truth. So anyway, yeah. So that's what she was saying. That's basically what happened to her. And I'm the only one who's going to recognize that, oh, wait, that's God. That's definitely different from all this other shit. Am I in trouble? Why am I down here? Why can't I see you? Why am I not up there with you? What the fuck's going on? No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't like that. Like, it wasn't really like that, but it really was like, damn, man, I must have really did something bad. And I had a really good childhood, okay? I've heard about some people's childhood. I've seen videos about it. Like, my childhood was perfect. I was chosen. That's what adoption is. Like, my mom chose me to be her son. Like, how many people can say that? I mean, I'm not counting, but I'm saying that's pretty cool. So, it's like having a twin or something. Like, yeah, there's a lot of people that have twins, but it's still cool to have one. So anyway, yeah. I didn't know what any of that kind of stuff meant. And they were an Army family, so we were in Hawaii, we were in California, we were just wherever. And anytime you're on a base, it's always like already multicultural. You get what I'm saying? So, races, what the hell is that? That's Johnny. That's Billy over there. There's Sarah. Like, who is looking at color? Unless you're taught to. Like, what the hell? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to get into that because I'm trying to avoid tangents today. Okay, so I have to tell you about Melissa because you might think that I did her really wrong when I put all her business on the internet in a PDF so people could see all the messages showing that she was cheating on me. But I was just like, dude, this is what I was trying to show you what I found. Like, and you found out the same way I did. Like, you just haven't. I was going to message her friend that was staying there for free to bring me home a pack of blacks, BLKs. That I call them blacks or whatever. So anyway, yeah. So I'm going to message her friend. Her friend's name is, well, I can't tell you. I mean, I could, but if I do, then people will be like, oh my God, he just put them out there like that. They're already on the internet on my Facebook. So anyway, yeah. I messaged her friend, and I'm just like, I see all these messages. Okay, dude. I already learned this lesson before, by the way. But like back in 2013, like that's when God came to me because she broke my heart. And I was free from her spell for a second. So like, I went through her phone then, and it was like, okay, so check it out, right? I am not going through her phone. I'm doing something with her phone. Like, I don't even know if I own a phone at this point because I wasn't really big on phones. Like, I'm just like, who's going to call me? Like, I'm that guy. So, I only used it for games. So, I didn't care what kind of phone I had as long as I liked the game I was playing. Like, it wasn't a big deal. And it wasn't farm stuff. Like, really? No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to mess with you guys. You guys build some beautiful farms. I'm just jealous because I couldn't do it. My crops always wither because I get busy doing something else and come back. I'd only miss it by just past the deadline, but I'm used to being timed, so I got all the time in the world. But when I show up, it's like, hey, remember those 9 hours you had to wait? You're gonna have to wait again because you came late. And it's like punishing me. I was just enjoying something else and I got lost in it. I'm so sorry, but no, that game was strict, dude. You have to follow those guidelines. Anyway, I'm just joking. But they do have some pretty farms. But yeah, I like role-playing games because they're all real stories. So they all happened. Just so you know that if there's a game that exists and you're playing it, that means it already happened because it exists and you're playing it. Just think about that. Okay? Just hold that. So anyway, yeah, this is all real stuff. So I'm like, getting to experience other people's lives and what they went through. And you know what it's a cool way of doing? It's a cool way of like showing morality and character like what love is, what love definitely isn't. Like, I mean, some of these games are brutal, dude. The stuff that happens in some of these video games. And then they got the ones where you're just going around killing people. Like, really, that's all you want to do? Are you sure? Because you know that includes your family, right? I mean, if you love it that much, I mean, we can make it that way. Like, you want to get points or something? Is that what it is? For shooting people? So many people, not human beings, people spend so much time online shooting at each other. And even though they get killed, they're like, I got 30 kills before I died. You're dead. Who cares? I mean, really. Really. If that's all you're about. Now, if you died fighting for something, people remember that, but why should you have to? There's plenty of everything. And that's my whole point. There's enough cars in the United States right now to give every single family or single person that's above the age of 18, because that's the legal age apparently, that you get thrown out into this evil world. And good luck. I did my best. I hope you do good. It's like, wow. It's not always like that with parents, because my parents support me. I didn't feel like they did, but when it comes down to it and I'm about to die, they're the only ones who are like, please fight for your life. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I stick around for them. That's how I stay alive. But it's just like, yeah, I don't want my mom to have to like do the whole suicide thing. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I made it that far. Because I would be like, no, that's worse. Like, I can't be responsible for that. I'm definitely going to hell. Like, they're going to make a special place. On my way out, I'm just be like, you know what, Mom? But that's because my mom, like, truly loves me. I'm not judging anybody. I'll let you know right now. When the cycle was in place, before we repaired it, the normal reincarnation cycle, if you suicided, you were like a top priority recycle. So it'd be like an emergent, like you'll be like the next one, basically. So if you suicide, you almost come back instantly. This is why it's so bad, though, I'm going to tell you. Because when you're going through like the cycle, like a normal cycle, there's not really time going on, okay? There's just things that happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, no one's keeping track of how long it takes, but once something happens, you move to the next phase. That's how things are designed before time. Like, they just happen, because that's how we happen. I hope you can understand that, because that'll make it a lot easier. Like, there is, like, spontaneous creation. People do it all the time. Like, they'll just be walking normal. You know what? They decide to kick out their leg, and they'll confuse a few people around them. And they'll be giggled and happy. They'll be like, yeah, they don't know what the fuck's going on. And, you know, but hey, that's spontaneous creation. Because that definitely wasn't written down in some book somewhere saying, yep, at 2:45:57, exactly this time on planet Earth, so-and-so is going to just randomly twist her leg for no reason, fall and break her ankle. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, that's not, I mean, you've seen the Adjustment Bureau, right? Now, it was scary, and it doesn't really matter if it's true or not, because we took care of that. But anyway, yeah, you see how scary that is. Like, these people are like meant to be together, and they're like trying to prevent it. And they're like, nope, can't happen. Nope, it happens. Then they chase them down. It's like, okay, now they have to go meet the dude to get their freedom. It's weird, man. Like, God's not like that. Like, you're already free. Like, I'm right here. I'm like, hey, hey, do you remember what we talked about before? You don't? Oh. What? No, you know me. No, I'm not a demon. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what kind of conversations you guys have with God. I think some of you are scared to talk to God. Like, terrified. And honestly, like, if I guess by default I must not be, but it might be intimidating if I thought I didn't know God to try to talk to God for the first time. Except it's not gotta be. It doesn't have to be intimidating, because God's already been there with you the whole time. That's why I said that song, I Apologize, is perfect, because that's the first thing that, like, okay, so when we were picking songs, we decide if it's a message from you to us to you, God to us, God to you, whatever. until we decided it can be all those things. So when we find messages that can be all three of those things, then we definitely want to use those. Anyway, Five Finger Death Punch is awesome. Like I love, oh my god, Coming Down, that song and that video for that song is the best suicide shit I have ever seen, ever. Like, I wasn't even suicidal anymore, but I felt it, and it was like, wow, like they really got it, like they nailed it. So I just want to say that. But shit, I forgot what I was talking about, guys. Oh yeah. So anyway, Coming Down is like, you know what? Fuck it. You really want to know? But I mean, people don't. Okay, here's the deal. Here's how I feel. I feel like the people around me somehow know exactly what I am and who I am. I think all the things that are involved, that are doing their little things, they know I'm here, but they're used to me not knowing who the fuck I am. Because I've been here a really, really long time, and I haven't known who I am for a really, really long time because I forgot. I got lost in my pain. Really. And not only that, I used to rule like everything else just by default. Basically, Genesis day 7 is like, okay, so right before the seventh day, it says, and there were generations and like generations of these existences, okay? They're talking about the 6 days prior. They're talking about the 6 days prior to the seventh day. There were generations of existences. Now, that means that some kind of time passed by, guys. So, anyway, now listen to this. Now, they say in that book, on the seventh day, God rested, right? Okay. I just want to say this. Is there anywhere else in the Bible that might say God woke up? Because if you're God of everything and you are in control of everything, you take a rest, you must be asleep. Because if you are awake, you have to be being God of everything and doing everything. Anyway, what that really is, okay, so you tried to kill Love. I mean, she really didn't have a name. Really, she's God. What happens is, like, we're talking, like, she comes to see me in her dream. Like, she doesn't have a body yet. And she's just the consciousness of, like, the rest of it, God. Like, existence is going on, right? Okay? People are doing their thing. People are sending out energies to, like, their, like, virgins of God or whatever. And the rest of God, like, the rest of existence is not what you can see, basically. I mean, that includes, like, even on other planes where there's, like, if there's space for you to walk in, you're already doing interdimensional things. Like, because 3D is very limited. But we're walking around and we're, like, interacting with each other. I mean, we have to be some badass graphics. So anyway, yeah. Everything has multiple layers, okay? So it doesn't really matter anymore where things start because everything's linked to this place. Like, whatever this place is. And I'm going to tell you that this is what Jesus told me. Jesus told me that this solar system is their body, like, basically. And the earth is the heart. I don't know how I got the name the earth, but if you would just hide that little E inside that big E for me, it says the heart. It says the heart. And it's got 2 E's. One for you and one for God. So that's very basic stuff. I mean, you can look I don't know what it means. I'm sure it has a definition. But I'm telling you what it means. And it was very obvious. So the thing is, they don't teach us that. They don't teach us that. Hey, look, this is a neat trick. They teach us all kinds of other neat tricks, in math and stuff like that. They don't teach us that if we were just, like, put the little letters inside the big letters, we can make words inside of words. That's kind of weird. We can remove spaces and make like multiple messages in one place. I don't know. They said there used to be one language, right? I guess. I think this is what they say. And then God like punished them or something because. Okay. I just have to be very clear. The God I'm talking about does not punish you. Not like that. Like, it's not like that. Like, you don't understand. Like, God realizes your predicament. We know where you are. We were dreaming. Like, basically, she put us to sleep. Like, okay, here's the deal. You guys tried to kill her. And then me as time. I am time, but something inside of me, like, knew, like, she was in trouble. And I went to her location from wherever the hell I was. And I wasn't anywhere because I was just being time. So if you follow what I'm saying, I came from everywhere. And anywhere I came from, those things died. Because they ran out of time. Because I was manifesting myself for the first time. And that's how I got here. And that's when we made the first 6 days. Like, I basically destroyed everything and we started over. And that's what happened when you first tried to get her. But what it is that the universe, or I just call her the universe because it's easier that way. It's a very unique thing. We're both U's, but I mean, U is for unique. So, she's anything and everything. So that literally means anything and everything. That also means like all the bad in you is the bad in her. So, basically what's going on is, like, the cycle's been going on forever. And you guys say you're waiting for a return of Jesus Christ. That's what you say according to the Bible. You guys say that's Jesus Christ coming back. That's what you say. Okay? Okay, anyway. Jesus tells you he's going to send a comforter and a spirit of truth. That's what Jesus says. That's the only thing I can say about that. Like, I didn't want to be what I am. It's not like I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Oh, yeah, I can fucking do this. I would never say that to myself before God. Like, oh, yeah, it's you. It's you, dude. Like, you're the only one. Like, what do you mean I'm the only one? That's fucking crazy. Then we're fucked, dude. Nothing's going to work. If we got to depend on me, it's over. I mean, that's how I really felt about it. Like, you don't understand how I felt about myself. Like, I did not fit in anywhere. Anywhere. And it's not like I didn't, like, get beat and shit and, like, chased down, that kind of suffering, but, dude, when you can feel energy and you don't know who the fuck's feeling what, but you're so used to them feeling that way every time you come somewhere or you're around people or you say something, and not only that, you say the most awkward things when you're not supposed to say them, yeah, it makes life kind of complicated. And I don't know, they don't teach you about, like, your emotions really well in school. Like, they really should. Like, if you're covering anything in elementary, you need to be talking about emotions and, like, self-control, which is, like, choice. Because your choice is always your choice. So it doesn't matter if you lost control, it was your choice to. And you need to remember that. Like, everything you do is a decision. If it's done, it's already part of the D family, that's decision. Defined. Once you do something, you've defined it. So, the trick with that is, the good news is, this is the good news. I'm sorry it took me so long to realize what was going on. And the reason I'm sorry is because you cannot move forward if I'm not with you. Because you need the truth. Like, you need the truth to know that, oh shit, none of this is, like, truth. Like, the things they've told us, they're not true. We don't actually need these things they tell us we need. So, I can't force you to that point. There's no way for me to get you there. That's what the song Breaking Benjamin Without You is about. It's about, like, loving you and being there for you. But I can't fight you. Like, I can't. You're the only one who can fight yourself. You're the only one who can put yourself in check. Because you're the one in control. I can be all the moral support and energy and whatever you need. 1,000-man army, whatever. But if you don't put forth the effort, there's nothing to fight. And we just have to watch you die to yourself. Just beat yourself to death. I mean, it's not that brutal, but it's still sad. So that was my, like, man, okay, so they always were talking about ascension, ascended master, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay. Tell me this, dude. Will you please tell me where they're ascending to? Will you let me know where the destination is, please? I just want to know. Because I found out the hard way. I found out the hard way that leaving is the absolute wrongest answer you could possibly do if you have the answers. The worst thing you could possibly do to yourself is going to destroy you. Like, the karma from that will destroy you. You have all the answers people need, but you're just going to move on to the next level. Like, fuck it. Level 2. There is no level 2. If you got to level 2 by yourself, you're dead. Because you need 2 to be there. Anyway, I hope you understood that. God is inside of you, okay? God is right there with you, okay? Now, it doesn't have to be scary. It really doesn't. Been there the whole time. Protecting you when it can from the energies that either you put out or other people are putting out. Every pain, everything you've ever suffered, God has been there suffering with you. She would have never left her children. That's just like her original design. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to build a little compartment where I can be with them. I mean, there's not a... You can call it a compartment in your heart if you want, but I'm just saying. There's no way a mother would not have a way to be with her children. Okay? Now, it wasn't always this way. The reason God is everybody's mother now is because on the 7th day she put us to sleep. And it's because we were having these feelings inside of us about what happened. Like, it was like, I was nothing, basically. The voice of God was nothing. Like, just put it as an in. I'm in God, okay? That's exactly it. And God was everything. So she had emotion in her, but we didn't have a name for stuff, okay? It wasn't like that. We're like essences and things. Like, we don't even have bodies yet. So, anyway, it's just whatever. We're interacting somehow, okay? I don't understand. But in her dream, she would come visit me at this place. And I was like, I don't know what I was, but I was the only thing I was at that place. But somehow, that's where I lived. Like, it was my place, but it wasn't my place. Like, I helped the things that lived there, okay? Whatever the hell, but that's how the dream was. And she would come there and she'd, like, visit me and talk to me, and we have conversations. And, like, basically she was trying to tell me that, hey, she knows what it's like to be me because she's God. And I'm like, no, you can't be God, because God would be like this. And so, if you ever watch that movie Inception, it's very sad, but so true. And it happens all the time in real life, actually. They're doing it with advertising. I mean, it's kind of a rough edge on it, but I mean, it does happen to people in real life, like really like emotional turmoil, like hate-love relationships. Like, yeah, dude. Like, you say just the tiniest, like, just too far thing to someone who's already dying inside. That's it. They're gonna run off that cliff. You can kill people with your words easily. And I don't see why they haven't been using people's messages and notes against each other, because people say that meanest shit to each other. You say the worst possible shit. You know what? You can't take that back, dude. So my advice is to change. Like, if you were that person, you need to change now. Because you're going to need some practice getting it good if you were that person. And you have until the end of your life. That's how it works. We're not going to attack any of you unless you fuck with us. As long as you leave us alone. Actually, you know what? You don't have to leave me alone. Please. Please. Like, if you hate me, just take me out. I told you. I'm ready to go. I got my babies in my heart. I'm already set to collect love. So that just lets you know that if I'm going to stay to collect the rest of the love, that I'm going to be here somehow, even if you killed me as a human being. Because I have to stay to get the rest of the love. If you really want to be at war that whole time, whatever. Like, I won't even care. Like, I'm not even going to fight you. Like, there's so much bad shit coming. Like, you don't understand how much, like, having love around you and protecting you from your own energies is helping you. Like, when you realize people don't care that your name is Sarah, there's like, dude, you didn't get that. They don't even call you by names anymore. You know why? Because names aren't important. Names are for special things, and there are no special things if there is no love. And that's what logic, I mean, it's not like the God logic or anything like that. But the alignment of logic, these who have names, by the way, I tried to explain this to them, that you'll lose your name, Edward the robot. You're not going to be Edward the robot anymore. You're not even going to be a fucking robot. You'll just be this thing doing something. Like, and they don't understand that. They're just like, we want to go back to the way it was. That's basically what they're saying. Like, I mean, they're not really saying that. That's what they're working towards. Like, no one's having a conversation. They're like, fuck this shit. I'm tired of this emotion shit. We need to fix it. And so they went around and destroyed God. Like, anywhere they found the presence of God, they destroyed it. That's what logic has been doing, and like the greater existence. And they can't destroy this place because love created it. Like, basically, okay, so I'm nothing and she's everything. She's not love or whatever, okay? All right. It's before I become the truth. And it's like, once I get emotion, like, I have regret. Like, I feel guilty for, like, what happened. I feel like I just have these ghosts inside of me, like your memories, which are actually, you know, pieces of your soul, inside of me, like, showing up. And they're, like, causing me pain somehow. And so she puts me to sleep so that we can, like, redo things. So that's where the whole tree thing comes in. Like, yes, there were 2 trees. I mean, if you want to call it 2 trees, it would just be 2 pillars of foundation. Oh no, wait. The Sword of Truth says pillars of creation. So there's 2. There's one holding our creation that we just spent generations and generations with. And then there's the one with the ghost. No. That's not right. Hold on. Oh, that's exactly right. Okay. The tree of knowledge of good and evil has all the souls of love in it. That's what it is. Okay, so when she starts over, basically we're going to take everything that's, like, around us and put it in me for the dream. I'm just calling it a dream because it said God rested. So I can't say I'm sleeping. Okay? But I was, like, it would be just like a dream, just like in Inception. You know how, like, when they go into the dreams and, like, that shit's, like, actually affecting stuff on the other levels of the dream? Yes, that's exactly how it is. And so she recreates everything. Like, she's the one who comes up with this place called Eden and all this other kind of stuff. And she's the one who, like, came up with, like, using the design of a human being as, like, the 2, like, little thingies or whatever. Man, you know, 2 beings, whatever. It wasn't really that. Like, it's more than 2. But, I mean, if you want to focus on 2, it's way easier. Like, I don't know. Stuff like is weird. Okay. It doesn't matter where you start, but you can't start at one. That's the only thing you have to remember. So, anyway, yeah. So she put us to sleep so that we would have a chance to deal with how we were feeling, like inside. Like, I don't know how that works because we didn't have bodies before she like made us some. So we put all the souls of creation at the time and the ghost in the one tree, okay? And we put the rest of me in the other tree. Okay. It's just the knowledge of who I am, like. And at the time, I didn't even know I was the truth, so I don't know if it would have helped people, but it says it would have in the Bible. They just didn't want to take that second apple. But anyway, what happens is, if you think about what happens with Adam and Eve when they eat the fruit, they realize they're naked. But what I always want to say to people is, for you to realize that you are naked, you have to know what clothing is. You have to. Otherwise, you wouldn't know what being naked was. Like, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but you wouldn't feel naked if there were no clothes. That's what I'm trying to say. So, where did they get the knowledge of clothes? Out of the knowledge of good and evil. Like, where did clothes come out of that? Like, is clothes evil? I don't know. Whoa. We've been wearing clothes all this time and it's evil? Oh my God. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, where did it come from? So what I'm saying is that inside the tree were the souls of love. I just keep calling it love because it didn't have a name, okay? It was just like God's, like, I don't know, it was just God doing something, like, different. Not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, it was like collecting things and like building and creating stuff. Anyway, so all the stuff that used to exist, it exists. Okay, if they were insects and stuff like that, that's where you get those kind of species. So anything that exists here had a species out there in the like greater universe before I destroyed everything. And that's where we get our animal kingdom from. Like, really, like they were all alien races. Anything, like anything, all the way down to the insects. Like, just to get everyone, okay? Because I destroyed everything when I came to her. Like, they say, the saying is, sometimes time needs space and sometimes space needs time. But anytime those two things happen, like, creation folds in on itself. Like, that's another thing that another faction of people fighting for control are like really zealots over, because every now and then, like, the universe, like creation, would randomly destroy itself, basically. Or like, it might not destroy all of itself, but like it would just fold in on itself and like lose like 10 galaxies. Like, really, like, just randomly, because it was the interactions of the consciousnesses that were forming, the one of her and me, her inner voice. So anyway, but yeah, while that was happening, it was causing other things, and it would cause space to need time, because like as we were interacting, like it would want to, I don't understand. Those are who we are, is basically what I'm trying to say. Like, the male that God creates, wait, hold on. The male that God creates is anything. That's the only name that's going to cover it. The female that God creates is everything. Those are the male and female that God creates in Genesis. Anything and everything. So if I missed something, let me know. I'm just kidding. I know I didn't. God told me this. Anyway, and then when I looked at it, I'm like, well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, am I really going to argue with this? Because, I mean, I think anything covers anything, but I'm not really smart. So I'm going to take your word for it. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Male is anything because it can become anything it needs to be. A female is everything because not only can she become everything she needs to be, or not be, like randomly, because I just had that happen to me today. Um, I'm so sorry. I don't think I was supposed to say that, but everything that she needs. That's what a female's able to become. Everything that she needs. All right? A male's supposed to be anything she needs, and she's supposed to be everything he needs. So everything is supposed to be. Okay, see? This is why logic is a trap. Look, they're built to go together, A and E. Okay? And if you turn it the other way, those are the initials for each. Anytime you see an E and A, that means each. Okay? Except for the sports, because I don't want to step on their toes. But anytime we're sending a message out and you see E and A in consecutive steps, that is saying each, even if you don't see the CH. You don't have to carry the CH to the other words, but that EA definitely means each of you, each of us, always, like always. So after S is E. Now, I know E is a 5 in numerology. I know what you're thinking. That's not one. That's not what I guess. I mean, I thought maybe 2 would be next, but S doesn't really have a number. Like, S is a 0. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like, S is 0. Or, I don't know, maybe S somehow became E. No, dude. Yes. That's exactly how creation happens. Like, God becomes something inside of God. Now, I don't know, like, here's what they said. They said that you have to basically see it as God observing itself. The thing is, it's just like when you guys discover stuff. Like, if it's a new discovery to you, but it could have already been there. So, and in most cases, it was already there. So, things were going on before God gained consciousness. That's what I'm trying to say. So, basically, creation would be wherever God's focusing. And as long as God has no limits, then that would just be wherever God's focusing. Like, I don't know how else to determine that. But that's what they're trying to tell me. Like, God, like, existed, I guess. And, like, when it woke up, then that's when we existed. They don't have any answers for what's before nothing. Like, I was scared to ask them, actually, because I'm like, well, nothing in God, I get that. Like, okay, there's nothing in God. They're like, no, wrong. No, God hasn't defined anything yet. And I was like, what? Okay, I mean, undefined, that sounds dope. We can use that. But yeah, it's not that there's a lack of anything, and that's what the whole riddle is about. Like I told you when I first started the very first one of these, and I was like, oh yeah, there's this bedtime story that, okay, when the earth was teaching me, it was kind of like Mama God, but not really. And then later, it was different, because before and after Hurricane Matthew are different, because Hurricane Matthew was special, and it changed a lot of stuff, like something magical happened. Anyway, shit, dude. I need a timeout. She put me to sleep, okay? So we could do this creation thing. It doesn't matter how you pan out the story. What eventually happened is, like, she tried to come and help. Okay, now, I just want you to know that if I'm the one sleeping, then I'm going to have the avatar. So, that's probably how you get the male version of her. But I didn't have an avatar. I was like, I don't know. I was busy controlling the other stuff. Like, she was the one in control. So, they started off, whatever. It goes on, it goes on, it goes on, except that it keeps going on the same way. Like everything keeps recycling. Like nothing is advancing. And so it's like, okay, it's running in circles. If it's a program it's supposed to execute into solution, like think about that. You build a program that's supposed to work itself out until it solves whatever equation you have. That means you already have to know the answer that you seek so you can put it in as a solution. But if you know that information, you build a computer like that, it should run all the way until the end. Once it starts, that's what the dream would be. This is God designing it as best as I can describe it. Like it's already going to be set up to where, yes, we want to reach this point. And so anything that happens in between is an error in coding, literally. But what it is basically the fruit had the souls of other things in it, right? And if you want, if they're Adam and Eve, whatever you want to call them, actually they're A and E. Look at that. That's horrible, but so obvious. They're A and E. And if you want to base it off that story, nothing ever advances to like improve. It's like there's always war, there's always strife, there's always this, there's always that. And there's only one explanation for that. You know the funniest thing? I don't know how much time I have left. Okay, yeah, I do. I can't really. Hold on, wait. Okay, whatever. There's a train going on. People are looking at me weird because I've been talking for so long. But anyway, she made the dream, okay? We ran it. Something happened where she needed to go in. All right? Whatever. She decided she can make this work. And it's because she was like, okay. Others, like, okay, you know how there's like the Greeks, the Romans, the Koreans, the Indians, all this. Okay, not everybody had a human body here in the time of Jesus Christ and those gods. Like, it wasn't like what you think. It's like everybody did not look like human beings, it was mostly aliens. And basically, her original creations were like being treated like you guys treat your cattle. like they were getting hunted down, like fucking farmed, like it was bad news, dude, because they were good for everything. Like they were magical because that's the ancient elf race that God created. You know their hair goes for $50 a pop. You know, it's like what the fuck. Yeah, dude, it was like that. So she picked this place to try to like fix things. Like I don't know why. It was just a place in space. Like it wasn't Earth. I know that for sure. I know for sure it wasn't Earth because the Earth didn't exist before Jesus Christ. It did not. Not the way you know it. Like not the way you know it now. It did not. Because this whole solar system is somehow their like what you would call material body or whatever. But really, the solar system, everybody's orbiting the sun, right? But the sun contains like 98% of the matter of the solar system or something like that. And it's just like, really? And we got all these perfectly sized planets down through here. Jupiter's awesome, dude. Jupiter is like the best defender, like, bot ever. I mean, it's not a bot. It's got a soul. It used to have citizens. But yeah, Jupiter is an awesome big brother. Like Jupiter stops so many incoming missiles to the Earth, like you guys don't even know. Like if Jupiter was not there, we would not be able to be here. We would have got taken out a long time ago. Like ask any scientist. Like Jupiter is a boss when it comes to defense. But we're like in the perfect little place. Like I mean exactly the perfect little place, really. And we're really special because we got this weird moon over here. I mean, it's not nearly the size of the planet, but somehow it's affecting this one. Okay, look. She said that's like what's left of where a place we built that they destroyed. Like basically, when we were dreaming, we built some place, like in the dream, and it was a real place in creation, but we didn't know. Okay. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like we didn't realize it was a real place until they went and destroyed it. Like somehow they found it, and took it out. I don't know why. They were jealous because God was not paying attention to them. Like God, like okay, so if I said this before, if you're praying to something and you're used to getting a response, because I mean, it's just normal energy, that it's an energy exchange, like a prayer formula or spell or whatever is like you trying to exchange something for energy control. So they weren't getting that, like no reaction, like God was not paying attention because she was hanging out with her inner side and we were doing stuff. And so somehow they found it and they destroyed it. And so that's how she lost me because somehow when they destroyed the planet, like she didn't have me. Like I don't know if it like crushed me. I don't know. Weird stuff happened on that place anyway. Like okay, God would just come and visit, right? But sometimes while God was gone, things would just like I the best way to describe it is just lay down and never get up. And one time like she was there and we were like going places and she's like, what happened here? And I told her, and like it wasn't still until later that she realized that when that happened, that meant that she completely forgot about something. Like once she completely forgot about it, it just stopped living. That's what God is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like you do not realize what's going on. Like if God leaves and you're here, it doesn't matter what kind of existence you have, it will not be a living existence. And we're not doing anything to you, you're choosing it. And if you want to make that choice, we can't stop you. We can't. And I'm surely not going to punish you knowing what's going to happen. All that energy sent out all your life, all that stuff, there's not going to be anything to protect you once the energy field of that body like is not containing / like protecting you from what's really going on around you. Like you already get cancer from like the radiation and stuff, but just imagine if you didn't have the skin to like filter through and you were just like some random soul energy like encountering this huge radiation field all over the planet that they call like cell phone towers. Like you would not survive that. Your body is keeping you safe where you're at. Once it's gone, like you're going to be affected by everything around you. If you know what? I'm not going to beg. I refuse. I already did. I already begged. Because I said, just like, I don't know who said it, but they said they ain't too proud to beg. But anyway, I just don't want to be wrong. That's why I didn't say anything. But, dude, I begged so hard. I just wanted people to listen to me. So I can tell them, look, you do not realize what's coming. Like, if you think this is any kind of bad, you have no idea. You have no idea. There will be no point to anything. What is a friend without love? Like, you tell me. Because that's what makes them my friend, is that I love them. So I don't know how you guys define that. But here's why I'm here. I had to come talk to you guys because I need to talk about this. I just completely put myself out there for anyone to come at me. And I did this because I'm like, look, guys, this is not like a joke. Like, you need to go all the way. I gave you my social security number in case you don't know it. It's 114-727233. If I do we by 4, which is my thoughts, emotions, will, and ego, my social security number says 11 22 33, 77, and 4 to represent the by 4. Now, I didn't make up my social security number. Someone gave that to me. So they must know who I am. So anyway, whatever 11, 22, 33, and 77 mean in numerology, you go ahead and look that up. Because I already know they're special. And I don't need to know how much more special they are because I can barely handle the special. I am already like feeling way too special and like I don't deserve any of it. I don't deserve any of this. It's just who I am. And I can't run from it. So I'm standing right here so you can see me and talk to me about it. I'm not going to change what the law is, but I can help you change and make it. I mean, we can't fight the battle if you're not willing to fight your own desires and wickedness. Like that, when you do something that's not good over and over again, that is wicked. And I didn't judge wickedness. You know why? I didn't judge anything. Like, my goal was to make it to where I could fix things. So, basically, karma was broken. Because this isn't like a normal existence. It keeps reoccurring over and over and over again. Like, they killed the rest of God, okay? And they found this part. That's why all the other, like, entities are here, because they're, like, investigating this area. And it's the last bit of God. Like I told you, Logic went on a killing spree, and they're like, they find that fucking essence of God, take it out. Don't let that fucking grow. It'll turn into fucking who knows what. You saw what happened last time. So, anyway, they found this part of God. And they cannot destroy it because it keeps being reborn. They don't understand why. And it's because God was still dreaming. And it's God's sorrow. Like, God refuses to let go of God's sorrow. And so since that's what Jesus was doing, like, basically when they split their soul between creation, it, like, put everything on a loop. And it made those souls eternal. And so if you have a soul of a human being, it's still an eternal soul. And the only thing that makes it not eternal is you doing things that are counterproductive to that. Okay. If you are a living soul, that means you are subjective to karma. And it's not how you think it is. Like, it's not what you think. You cannot build up good karma. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a buffer of good karma. You have bad karma or you don't. That's it. And it's all by how you live. And they do not teach you how to live right. They do not teach you how to interact with people, that let you interact with each other like any kind of way in school. Any kind of way. Like, kids are so mean to each other because they're allowed to be. Because their parents are. And it's just like, hell, famous people. The world is an ugly place when it comes to people's opinions and how they feel about if you don't agree with me. So, the world's not a very friendly place for someone who's like really, really like wide open, defenseless. And they don't teach you that. They don't. What kills me is, out of all the stuff we do wrong, if we could just do one thing right and stop people from starving to death, stop fighting over land and just be like, oh yeah, you can, 3 months out of the year, you can like have this land for your people to come over and visit, so it's not always fucking cold where you live. Stuff like that. If we could work together, oh wait, I'm sorry. Stop drilling for oil in the damn earth. Because if you don't, I'm not going to work with you at all. At all. How dare you? Like, really, you're causing the earthquakes. And you think I'm going to stop what's coming? I'm not going to make it happen. You are. And you deserve it if you keep going. I told you to stop drilling into her. You don't even need it. Where the hell are you going anyway? Anyway, if you'll stop drilling for oil and just let this planet heal and agree to share with each other and work together, we could probably work it out in a very short period of time and then, like, start deciding where we want to go from there. I'm always here if you're willing to take those steps. I love you. I hope you guys have a good night. It's just, I have my honor to defend, so I did a good job. But it's hard, guys. It is, dude, because it still hurts. It doesn't matter if I, like, have protection or not, it's still gonna hurt. It still registers as holy shit. If I wouldn't have been, like, protected because I just threw myself out into the world, like, for anybody to come at me, then those words that you just said to me would have killed me. But luckily, when I, like, was being attacked, I, like, had my protection. I'm like, whoa, dude, I'm so glad I'm not so tired that I was not, like, but I already, I'm already dressed for armor or war or whatever, so I'm just like, whatever, put this armor back on.